And we're back with another episode of Let's Play Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age. I'm your host, the RPG Guy. And we are now free to move about the country. Let's get to it, as we ain't gonna be doing it on our own. Now, being a big open world, we need to be somewhat careful, as you can clearly see, there are a lot of enemies nearby. So you can pretty much avoid a good chunk of the enemies around, again, and keep this in mind that in the overworld, enemies are likely to respawn on you. So there's some pros and some cons and whatnot. Now, being on the horse, you can avoid a moderate amount of battles, but my whole stance with any classical JRPG game is to not avoid too many, if almost any, to begin with. You need that XP. You need, and I can't stress it enough, you need that XP. And ignoring the fact that you need that XP is going to get you killed. And I like living, and I would assume most players of JRPGs like their characters to, you know, live. So in general, powering through a lot of this is going to be the plan. And fighting at least most enemies that we see at least once, not all, just most, is going to be imperative to advancing in the game. And our biggest thing that we want to make sure we do is to at least hit level 5. Which doesn't sound like much right now, but level 5 is when we start getting access to things at a much... The game's leveling strategy, the way the game levels becomes a lot deeper, and so we'll take and again, as you can see, fighting these slimes that are dropping gives us a pretty good chance to get medical herbs, an item you usually don't want to say no to. Now, again, it really depends on how you feel. You could equip the shield for that extra 2 defense, but you're going to lose about 4 attack doing it. At least with the greatsword, we are guaranteed killing the slimes in one go. As far as other enemies are concerned, there's no evidence to suggest that at level 2 or 3 you're going to be able to do that. Especially if you avoided enemies in the tour, which there's no reason to. It's practically free XP. But you know, there's always that one person out there who's like, I don't want to fight that stuff. So we hit level 4. Sweet. Slightly stronger enemy type. And because we leveled, our HP and MP is restored. So no complaint from me on that. No complaint indeed. As we wipe out these needlers. We'll take a look to our next level as well. 78. So yeah, 6 XP is pretty mild at best. And as you can see, that enemy ran away like a bitch. There's another one over here. And it's these crows with the skull. The Stark Raven appears. And again, we kill them like the rest, just so you can get an idea of what's here. 3 points of XP, $4, not really worth it by themselves. Let's see, run through here. As you can see, we knocked that one out. I don't believe you gain any XP for knocking enemies over, so it's something to keep in mind that as much as and as interesting as it is to just knock out enemies, it's objectively debatable whether you should or not. Again, if the enemies are low tier and they're just wasting your time, then I'm right there with you, just run them over. Because getting to level 5 is so important for our character to do, we don't really want to turn too much XP down, if any at all, because we need as much XP as we can get. And we ain't gonna get it if we are, we're not gonna get it, rather, if we don't fight stuff, so. And level 5 shouldn't take that long to get to. Ooh, death by his own spear. Sweet. And 7 XP ain't bad. So we'll power through these guys. Again, having you guys endure because this is really just something you should do. And it's not, I don't consider it to be absolute grinding, as these are enemies that are on the way to Heliodor, so. There we go. Nothing like a group of 3 to make me happy. Oh man. We got the first round. Too bad they die like the rest. Nice parry. So what, 2 of them give us 7 XP, or was it 6? Let's see. 9. Again, we need the XP. I'm not gonna... I know I keep restating that, but I'm trying to confirm what we're trying to do here. As we're gonna see one of the biggest, and again, one of the most important features of the depthness that this game does offer, to a degree. Let's do it. Well, that's a given. Probably should go after those slimes, though, because that's 2 XP that's just fled, I think. Or 1 XP, whatever. But, I don't know. You have to weigh that one a little better, because there's a chance that it's not the best option. What are we doing on health? We're doing alright. Probably have to heal after this fight, which is fine. Time to die, cucumber boy. Not too worried about the crow type enemy. Ooh. There we go. Grab that. Something sees me. Now, if I'm not mistaken, bunny corns give pretty good XP, so they also can hit like trucks, so you gotta be careful. Notorious for buffing themselves, if I'm not mistaken. Yup. Yeah, we're not gonna be allowing that, buddy. Okay. They have 15 to level. So we're almost there. So the bunny corn still is the biggest threat, so we're definitely going to be taking him out first. As you can see now, we're hyped. Power of Pep. If the character is attacked a lot, he undergoes a trial of tribulation. Now, eventually this is like Psych Up from Dragon Quest VIII for a lot of people. When we're pepped, it means we go pretty much on a flat-out murder spree of just all kinds of power. And we'll stay pepped for X amount of rounds, and then it usually wears off. And then again, if we get beat up a little bit more, it comes back. It's a back and forth kind of love-hate relationship. Actually, before I forget... that would have been nice. A little earlier. Okay. I'll fight anything at this point. This should be able to level us up. Now you're gonna get it, cucumber boy. Cruel cumber. And there we go. We leveled to 5, and we get 3 skill points now. We also learn healing, which is good. And we get this thing. We'll deal with that in a moment. So we can do it right away, or we can go into miscellaneous character builder. Don't need a tutorial. And this is pretty much our point tree. Yay. And we can spend in this point tree however we want, as long as we can afford to buy it. It's really up to you where you want to spend stuff. I'm really weird, but you can look around and see what's here. And usually in Dragon Quest games, one of the most important things to unlock, one way or the other, is to get to that metal slash. How we get to that metal slash is really kind of up to us. I will say this. There is nothing like that on this side with the great sword. So it really becomes a question of how do you want to do it. And I'll be the first person to tell you I'm still big, really big on doing that. Now, getting that metal slash. Now, with that said, it's still not always the best way to go. So I am going to point that out. You'll see these question marks. As we unlock a certain amount of abilities around said question mark, the question mark opens up. And we have access to it. Now, with that said, can you respec? I believe respecing is in this game, but it comes quite late in the game, so it's a double-edged sword, literally. And then obviously there's stuff down here for the luminary, and we'll decide about that when I feel like it. For right now, I'm going to go, and as I said before, we're going to work our way on the left side of the tier here. That's just the way that I am. I am stubborn with how I develop my characters, and the sooner I get access to Metal Slash, the happier I'll be. And if I really am not happy, I believe, again, I'm going to reiterate, I'm pretty sure there's a way to respec. So if I need to respec, I will. There's no skin off my back, per se. Now, I believe... You notice I'm not giving too many damns about the enemies right now. I thought there was another item around here, but I could be wrong. You see these enemies respawning. The respawns have already begun. Oh, yep, there it is. Hiding right behind there. Alright. I know I'm just powering through enemies right now, but I don't think you would mind.
Oh, what have we here? I know a budding adventurer when I see one. It can be risky heading into the great outdoors if you aren't familiar with the basics of survival, you know. Well, fear not, because that's where I come in. See the remains of that fire over there? Well, when you spy one of those, it means you can set up camp and rest your weary bones. To settle down for the night, just go up to the fire and examine it. You'll soon be enjoying a well-earned break. What's that? You're worried about being attacked by monsters while you sleep? Oh, ye of little faith! That statue over there is chock full of holy powers that'll keep the beasties at bay for as long as you need. And that's not all. You can pray to it to be cured of poison and all kinds of other things. Think of it as a mini church. Anyway, enough of my yammering. Why don't you take a closer look at all this camping kit for yourself? You'll need to get used to what campsites look like and how to find them. After all, you'll be relying on them when whenever you're out in the wilderness. It's like my old dad always said, keen campers can continue on where others can't. Be prepared. Well, that's all from me. If you have any camping-related queries, feel free to ask. I'm here all the time. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Kids don't do drugs. Alright. But regardless, we are here at a camp. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, we have arrived at a campsite. Now, we will utilize what we can from this campsite, mind you. And in due course, after we loot the area, the immediate area. All kinds of goodies to find. Sweet. As many wells in Dragon Quest games go, find some nice free stuff. And that pretty much does it for the campsite area. Now let's go into the camping mode ourselves. Let's take a look. So we don't have to necessarily do what's in the menu. We can get up and walk around. And here's a dude with, oops, a roving emporium dude. Again, you can clearly see he's just not going to have much that we need right now. How are we doing on points? We got 7. How much more? We got a 481. Put them in the item bag. Again, nothing really here worth buying. Nothing to sell. Really need to save, I don't think. Not right now, we will soon. Let's go ahead and rest. Sort of sunrise. As we still have a lot of this open area to kind of explore, and it would be kind of weird if we didn't explore it. And theoretically, we don't really need the wars, but I guess it's nice to have it. You'll see these dudes every once in a while. Don't worry about them. They're not going to hurt you or harm you. What's our 2 next level here? 125. So the enemies are now going to be kind of on the low side when you really think about it. So the bait of fighting these particular enemies around us starts going down a bit, because we're just not going to get very much for fighting them. And then it's, becomes a time over, value. If you want to grind, you can. To get some more skill points always helps. Here's the road. Back at the campsite. Okay, let me think. Let's get moving here. As soon as we cross the river, things are going to change a little bit more. As you can see, we've got some new enemies. Let's go say hi. Mr. Toady. Doo, 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 doo. And since we're still pepped, kill him pretty easily. What do we get for one? 8 XP. Yeah, that's a lot of XP. The pot of toad oil. So we're gonna make our way over that way, fighting some of these new toady enemies because 8 XP is pretty high for one enemy that we can almost kill outright too, mind you. But you'll also see they do a pretty good amount of damage, so be it as it may, seem like a good idea. Be careful. Jug of fresh water. We're not done with this area over here yet either. One more primary item we need to find, and then we're actually going to take a different road. Both this road and the road nearby lead to the same place, so strangely enough, there's 2 paths we can take. One path has a lot more treasure than the other, so the path we're currently on actually has the least amount of treasure, so it just, to me, makes more sense to pick it up right away. Get it over with. Ooh, 2 toadies. Make it so we can't cast our spells, I'm assuming. That or put us to sleep, one of the two. And the battle is won. You could argue 16 XP. Stuck on a tree. And a fright bulb, which kind of looks like a slime enemy, but apparently they're plant-based, which makes sense. You see the plant-based, but this is one of the things they can do that's a little annoying. They can knock you over, which makes you lose your turn. So if you see them in groups, probably want to go for them first. They don't give a lot of XP either, so keep that in mind too. So we find ourselves a wonderful cotton cup. And that's really the items, I believe, that are over in this area. So we definitely don't want to deal with them. Hammerhod. Hammerhod's much like the bunny corns. They can pep up or psych up and dish out a lot more damage in the form of crits. So you want to be a little wary of them too. 7 XP, so similar to the frogs. But I think the toadies are a lesser threat, to be fair. Alright, so we're going to head back to that crossroad, and we're going to take the other way out of that camp. Here we finish these off. We'll fight any toadies along the way. Ish. As you can see, we're hurting. We want to hold on to as much of our XP as our items as possible. Toady. Mainly because they're going to waste turns doing that, and that's fine. And that wears off after the battle, I believe. Yes. And look at that, we're already 48 to next level. So all the enemies on this side we don't need to worry about right now. They're all a bit too weak for us to have to worry about. Again, if you're playing it safe, you can grind against them if you want, but we're not going to need to worry about that. And we get an achievement for that. Let's go ahead and dismount our horse, because we get access to this. Which is a splintstone, copper. Those replenish after a while too, but when I say a while, it's a long, long while, so don't rely on that as your source of income by any stretch of the imagination. Again, a lot of enemies that aren't going to do much for us here. that. And you'll see a guard there. We can't really go that way, so we're not going to. We make our way north. And again, we're going to bypass these enemy types because they're not going to give us that much XP. I want to say around here. Not too far. Pretty sure it's around here. It's this area here. Ah, there it is. Yay! Alright, and then we're gonna head across the bridge to our new enemy types. Again, ignoring the bulbs. Take on the hammerhods for sure. Hammerhods will fight. Because they might come with another enemy type we want to fight, so... I'm not gonna argue that. We need that delicious XP. Another lonely hammerhod. Oh man, he blocked. What a dick. If we're looking carefully, we might see these guys, who are sleeping. And that's a platypunk. And that platypunk's about to get his plunk padunked. As you can see, sleep is a nasty status effect, because even when you get hit, you don't always wake up, so... Free XP as far as I'm concerned. Grab some more free goodies. We should hit level 6 before we move on from this area to be safe anyway, with regards to our leveling. We're not really far from it, so... Like I said, we're investing points in our in a different set of weaponry than normal, so... We're, as much as we're gonna use as I'm using a greatsword now, that's gonna change as we progress here. And he's toast. And get a medical herb. At least two more fights. Especially if the enemies are going to come at me, in single groups. We'll heal. Just to be safe. Boo! And now we're nice and peppy. Not gonna let that go to waste. Also, I might take on a few extra battles more than normal. We get 2 skill points for our trouble, which is not enough to spend, so we're gonna sit on those. As painful as it is to have to sit on it, we're gonna have to. Alright, so we got some goodies from that tree. We're literally almost through the area here. We should check it to our next level as well. 180 is pretty far. Pretty far indeed. So we're not going to linger too much. Just want to gain the benefit. Okay, so we can't really one-shot even these stronger enemy types with while we're pepped, so that kind of blows. Just a wee bit. But don't worry, we're almost actually through the area, so no matter how you slice it, we're almost out of here. Cat. Moving? Nice. Nothing else. We'll fight one more. Hey, there we go. There's a battle or two. Wondering if we actually get to fight a two group. Ooh, smackdown. Let's try to kill off one of them for sure. If we need to heal, we'll heal. You know what? Just to be safe. And there he goes. And into Heliodor we go. What a sprawling town. Which, strangely enough, it is a sprawling town. I'd argue it's one of the bigger ones in the early part of the game. There'd be lots of things for us to do. Remember, it's the purple speech bubbles we care about the most. And then depending on what we gotta do will dictate, you know, again, what we gotta do. Amelia's stuck on the roof. She won't come down. Wow, someone help me. Amelia's stuck on the roof. You have to help. Yes, we will undergo that quest. Amelia's in a pickle. So we gotta find our way to the rooftops at some point here. Again, this town is huge. There's lots to see, lots to do, but mostly lots to loot. And what can I say? I'm a looty kind of guy. So looting away we will go as we get ourselves a free bandana. Again, I don't believe it's better than the Trodane one that we've got. So it's really just in our inventory for the time being. We're not going to worry about it. Once we get some flaxen thread. Get a book. I don't believe there's anything relevant in here. Yeah, different monsters show up at night than during the day. So if you're trying to 100% the monster guide, you know, if you want to do the 100% monster fight, you have to make sure you're visiting around all times of the day to find everything. And to find everything to fight, so to speak. And again, that's really only if you care about that crap. In this game, it's not specifically necessary, but it is something you kind of got to deal with as it becomes relevant. Early on in the game, I wouldn't worry about it. Because you'll need certain drops from various enemies, and you gotta make sure it's when they're spawning, or when their spawning time is, and all that. Alright, let's see. Doodly-doo. So much to see. So much to loot. Oh, you know what? There's these here. Before I forget, grab those. I want to say... the problem is I forget... I know where they are, but... I know what building they're in, rather. Let's shop as well, but we're not going to do too much shopping because we want to make sure we don't burn money needlessly on anything we don't need. Because it's like, oh, we could find it while we're out and about, or oh, you're gonna find it in the next area. You know, and you can't go into every building, so don't ask. You can clearly see. If you look at the compass, it shows you what buildings you can actually go into. So if you are worried about that, that's how you need to know. That's what you need to know. On the roof. There's a couple ways to do it, if I'm not mistaken. We're just not really in the area to do any of them. Or in the right spot. There. There's a pot. Flintstone. And it appears to be a biography of two great knights of Heliodor. Yay, good to know. In other words, don't care. We loot this guy's house for some moonies. As we explore every room, every nook and cranny. Nothing there. Again, I'm only going to read books that are really, really important out loud. And there are some that are, so don't for a minute think that I'm just powering through stuff. Let's leave that in there. This. Nice. Still haven't gotten to the rooftops yet. The guard's not gonna clearly let us in, so let's grab that seat ourselves. And get the stone. I don't want to go down there, I don't think yet, so can't let us do it anyway. But bro. Alright, so we've done all that. And here's the choich. To which we can't get up it yet. There is this. Which is always nice. Let's check over here real quick. There are houses everywhere. As we get a garter belt. Oh my granny, you're so naughty! I'm trying to think if there's anything else we've really not looked at inside-wise. We haven't gone in the church. We could check out in there, see what we can find. And that's one half of the bottom part of town done. Luckily, the north part of town's a lot smaller. I think this is just an open cathedral, so if you need a save, go save. There's a quest giver. Nice little kid from earlier. Quest giver over here. Which goes to the two greatest heroes in history, Sir Jasper and Sir Hendrik. The problem is they won't let me into the castle. Believe it, what else? If I'm not going to meet them in person, I suppose I'll have to bide my time reading up on them instead. You know, if you wanted to earn my total gratitude, you could only find a book that exploits about the exploits of the two fabulous knights. Well, we know where that is, I think. So we accept it. I think we've done this already. So let's go find the book. Well, we've already found the book, but let's go actually where that book is. After we grab these. Nice. It was in this dude's house all the way over here. On the first floor? Now we can turn this in. So let's do it now. The mightier swordsman Sir Jasper is peerless and military tactician. They've made Heliodor a nigh unbeatable military force. Well, fancy that. Okay, so we got this guy what he wanted. And we get a Dracelian shilling. We'll just hold on to those. That quest is done. We now have this wonderful part of the town to explore. Which, again, there's a lot of shit here. And we still haven't really explored the rooftops. Don't worry, we will. Let's see what we can find. Just wandering around a wee bit. As we are actually by a gear shop here. We'll look and see what they have, but I have a feeling we're still not going to see much. So, we can pick up leather armor. There's also a leather hat and a leather shield. As far as gear goes, like thinking about things to buy and stuff, it doesn't hurt to stock up on defensive gear for sure. So the leather armor is a massive upgrade. We'll just put it in the bag for now. The leather helmet is an upgrade. We'll put it in the bag it goes. And the leather shield is an upgrade, but again, we're not using shields at this exact moment. We will be by the time we need to use it, so I'm not too worried about that. Take a look at weapons. So now we get the copper chopper and the copper sword. As I stated before, look at that. That only puts us about 3 points higher in offense. We're going to be going with the more defensive approach to our character. So we're going to go with the copper sword. We're going to save our money because now we're down to 52 bucks. Let's take the copper sword, the leather shield, which put the leather helmet on. As you can see, our maximum MP is going to go down a little bit. That's okay. And that's going to boost us up pretty nicely there. And we don't have any other accessories that we can equip. Organize that a bit better. Organize that a bit better. Alright, so we're all geared up to my standard, I guess. And as you can see, we have donned the OG clothing here for this game. Not the specialty stuff. Which, like I said, we weren't going to wear that Trodain gear forever. Chronicles of the Corporal Craig. Yeah, and just more background stuff. If you really want to read this stuff, that's all available to you. If you watched me stream this a couple years ago, you would have heard me read all that stuff, because I did read it all. Okay, we see a chest over there. I don't believe we're going to have direct access to it yet. But we can go check it out and see. Clearly, this is a very large building. With more stuff for me to loot. Alright, let's grab that here. Pretty there. Nice. Good there. Another book. Another brief history of Heliodor. Again, don't care. Not that much. So we'll now head upstairs. Locked from the other side. Open. We need to break this off. And as you can see, it's locked from the other side, which means we can't get in there yet. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Because really, it'd be up there. No amount of jumping at this moment, I believe, is going to get us up there. Alright, so we're not going to worry about that for now. You get $5. And that's a good item, too. I believe it's an accessory, but again, if we can't reach it, we can't reach it right now. But don't fret. Eventually, that won't be an issue. Again. You little bitch. Okay. Check this out. So there's a dude who hid a treasure chest up here. Nobody can get it. From what he's saying. We unlocked this door because this was the door that was locked earlier. But now... And we get a gold bracer. To which we can equip that right now if we want. For a little bit extra defense, I say. That's fine. Something's got to go in the bag. Let's go ahead and throw medicinal herb in there. And totally makes it worth it. I told you we'd get it later. I just didn't say how much later. Okay, but speaking of that, in a more particular sense, now that we are on the roof, there's not much we can really do more up here. There's a few other goodies that can be found, but you know, it's not like you could. It's not like it's easily accessible to a degree. The whole high, you know, rooftop of the town, which makes me wonder: did I miss something over there? I probably missed something over there. We'll deal with that in a moment. Let's come jump on down here. Okay, let's keep snooping around, see what else we can find. As this town, as you've noticed, we're still finding stuff. Can't go in there. Nice. And then I want to say we've pretty much found everything. Almost. Almost. Here's some stuff right here. Not sure what it is off the top of my head. Ah, okay. Let's come back over here really quick. Nothing here. I don't believe there was much else. And as you can see, this game has clearly a day-night cycle. The concern, though, is dealing with this. Okay. I believe that there's a way to get up to the rooftops, but it's not the way you would think normally here. It's actually kind of weird and silly. First things first, though, let's go over here. Darn you, game. Maybe we do this the hard way. Grab this. Another seed that we're going to sit on for a while. As we are now going to get a night cycle here, our first night cycle. And this pretty much isn't a big deal. It's just different people are going to be out and about. Different things are going to be happening. We might have to force daytime to turn that side quest in. I don't think so, though. You can see there's a chest up there. Whoop. Grab that. And we get a mini medal, our first mini medal of the game, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it's one of those things where you gotta keep constantly collecting them all. Don't worry, I'm not gonna worry about it at the moment. Good kitty. Did you not come up here? You have not been in here. Let's loot it. Well, maybe we have been in here. Bookshelf. I don't think we've been up here. Blacksmith abroad by Howl Bellows. Okay, so nothing really here. In previous Dragon Quest installments, too, it was really important to read everything you could. I believe this one is not much different, because if you skip reading something, you lose out on the opportunity to maybe learn a foraging item or, you know, the secret. Obviously, you can see that that was a requirement for a quest, was to read one of those books. The fact that we knew where it was saved us a great deal of trouble. So I will peruse through them quickly to see if there's anything, but for the most part, we won't be making a habit of that. Let's go ahead and turn that little side quest in. That's the way to get over there. I guess this way. You're welcome, and we get kitty litter for our trouble. Sweet. So with that done, we're almost done exploring this beautiful town. We're just going to grab a few last-minute items in the upper part of town, because that's all that's left at this point. We've mostly explored everything that there is to explore, so let's take a look-see here. Not really much. You'd think that these mansions would have a lot more in it. They really don't. So we get plain clothes, and I mean much more as in, like, you could explore these giant buildings. Not really. They're kind of standoffish about that, as they're just these tiny little, not tiny, but they're like these single room, like, main halls. You can't really go into these side rooms. And then, there's something over here. Nice. And I believe there's a chest over here. I think we're done. We're burnt through most of our money, so I believe this chest will be money. I don't remember being that poor, even with buying all that gear. Yeah, this has to be money. Yeah. Okay, so we've done everything that we could. We found all of our gear, or we've upgraded our gear, found a bunch of items and money, finished some side quests and whatnot, and took a full tour of the city of Heliodor, or the kingdom. The only place we haven't been to yet is the castle. As far as I'm concerned, that will be our next stop. But yeah, we've explored as much. Now, of course, I might be missing items and stuff. Either I can't reach it, or I walked right by it. But again, I'm pretty sure I grabbed all the major chests in town, and that to me is more important than the little items, as well as the mini medals. I'm pretty sure we're good on mini medals, and we don't want to pass on those. We really, really don't. And whatnot. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for stopping by, like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/JackTarStudios for more live gaming action. And when we come back, we'll be continuing the story, and seeing what the king has in store for us, because obviously we are the chosen one. And I hope that you choose to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/JackTarStudios for more live gaming action. And we will see you guys next time.